And no official word yet on whether charges will be filed after a man left a voicemail threatening to kill Muslims if they would come to his home in Jefferson County. Fox 2's Betsy Bruce learned today that there were these messages targeting the Council on American-Islamic Relations, and she joins us from outside the FBI office in downtown St. Louis with more.
Well, Vic, the FBI will neither confirm nor deny that an investigation is going on. However, the executive director of CARE St. Louis, the Council for American-Islamic Relations, tells me that agents quickly took a suspect into custody on Saturday. The phone threat against an area Muslim organization came a day after the deadly shooting in San Bernardino, California, where 2 radicalized Muslims killed 14 Americans. Now we've learned the St. Louis CARE chapter received 3 voicemails from the same person, each growing in intensity. Listen to this excerpt.
You want to kill some people? Come my way, and I'll bury you all, cut your head off. I swear to God.
The caller claimed he lived here in Burns Mill in Jefferson County and was an ex-Marine. But Sayed believes the caller may never be charged with a crime.
It wasn't directed specifically at somebody, then it'd be hard to actually bring up charges against that person.
Despite the pain of the California attack, some Americans are offering friendship.
Earlier today, we had a gentleman who says that he's a Marine, and he says he's a Marine and he's a Christian, and he's standing with the Muslim community. He apologized for this type of ignorance as well, and it's something that's very refreshing.
A threat to the Manassas Mosque to repeat the carnage in California is very concerning to some local Muslims tonight.
Peggy Fox joins us live in Manassas with the story on this one. Peg, good evening.
The threat came in over the phone, and when no one answered it late last night, it was recorded. In the recording, the man claims to be from the Jewish Defense League, and he starts with an insult and then continues on with a chilling threat.
You bastards killed 1 Jew in California.
The call came in last night to the Manassas Mosque. Imam Abu Nahidian could not catch it in time, but he knew right away it wasn't good.
We'll do to your people what you did to them. We are checking now to see if 1 Jew has been killed or shot in California. If that has been the case, we say never again. We do not mean it just for the Holocaust. We mean it for you.
What do you expect from the people that they don't have much of knowledge? We already have demonstrated against all of the ISIS and all of these things before, many times.
Do you take this man seriously?
Frankly, no. But unfortunately, I would say we can't just say a dumb guy is just a dumb, that's it.
You can't just brush it off.
We can't brush it off.
Nahidian called Prince William County Police this morning, and police confirm an officer took a report. Nahidian says he'd like to educate the man who called.
Terrorists had nothing to do with Islam. In no part in the Holy Quran it says, you go kill the people. Our responsibility is to teach them. My responsibility is not to retaliate. I'm not going to say, because you curse me, I curse you. Because you are going to shoot me, I go ahead first to shoot you. No, I won't do that.
Imam Nahidian wants the media to stop using the term Islamist and just call them terrorists. Late this afternoon, the Prince William County Police confirmed that they've decided a crime was committed in this recording, and they are investigating. Reporting live in Manassas, Peggy Fox, WUSA 9.
Emotions certainly heightened right now. Peg, thank you. Now, we reached out to the Jewish Defense League asking for comment about that phone threat, but we haven't yet heard back from them.
For our morning prayer, and we found that the windows were bashed in. You know, someone intruded, came in through the opposite end of the building, and they broke in and they proceeded towards the main prayer hall, and they damaged the windows and caused some other property damage inside. This is one individual. You know, it's unfortunate, but we don't hold him to represent the majority of the people here. We've always been very active in engaging with the community, condemning terrorism. We had our last big seminar out in March. We just did an interview last night, again condemning terrorism and explaining on how to stop it. Because we're not just here to condemn it. We want to talk about how do we stop it, how do we work with the authorities. And speaking of the authorities, those are the people that are going to investigate, and they're here to, you know, the detectives are here, and police to go and do the investigation. We're not gonna. It's not, as Muslims, we respect the authority and the law, so we're not going to take things in our own hands or anything like that, but we're going to let those who have always cared for us here in this community, the North Palm Beach Police and the detectives, to do their job. But we're going to continue doing what we do. You know, we're here for the community, and we're going to continue to be here for the community.
Good evening, everyone. For the second time, the Twin Falls Islamic Center has been vandalized. Sometime on Saturday night, some unknown individuals spray painted the doors and windows of the center's new building.
Joey Martin is at the center this evening and has more on this developing story of vandalism.
Joe, Chris, it was 2 words and a question mark: hunt camp. Now, it's not clear exactly what these unknown individuals were implying with their message, but the local Islamic community tells me that they're ready to put it all behind them.
We do have a zero-tolerance policy, and we won't permit acts like this to go uninvestigated.
Red flowers and gray paint now cover up what was done. We reached out to the Twin Falls Islamic Center regarding this newest act of vandalism. Officials there denied our request to go on camera, but we're willing to talk about it over the phone. A representative says that this newest act of vandalism happened sometime in the late hours of Saturday night or early Sunday morning. And now the Twin Falls Police Department is getting involved.
Well, right now it falls under the code of malicious harassment, which is tied to a hate crime. It's a felony, and so that's what it's being investigated as.
As for what the message was, Hunt Camp, or Minidoka Internment Camp, was where thousands of Japanese Americans were forcefully held during World War II. It's not clear what these individuals meant by their message, Hunt Camp, and the officials from the Islamic Center of Twin Falls are also denying to interpret what that message meant.
We are taking a very aggressive position from our organization standpoint for crimes of this nature. Again, crimes based on the intent to intimidate or vandalize or maliciously harass individuals based on their religion are just unacceptable and won't be tolerated in our community.
The TFPD says that they are working to identify those responsible behind this act of vandalism. If found guilty, those who perpetrated the act could face up to 5 years in the state prison. Officials tell me that a large group of individuals volunteered their time on Sunday to come out and help clean up, paint over the vandalism and clean up the area. Now, no actual damage was reported on the building itself, but the Islamic community says they just want to put it all behind them. Now, if you know any information on this crime, you're encouraged to contact the Twin Falls Police Department at the number listed there on your screen.
Sunday night at 11 p.m., somebody drove by in a red pickup truck and threw a severed pig's head at the mosque, at the front door of the mosque. It is an act of willful desecration. I think it is a hate crime. People who did it obviously did it to attack Muslims. I think people are upset. People feel humiliated. We've never had incidents like that. I think even after 9/11, we didn't have anything like this. So. Unfortunately, the rhetoric and some of the rhetoric, especially coming out of unfortunately, the Republican candidates for president, has been atrocious, and words have consequences. 30 governors have said we don't want Syrian refugees in there. Other candidates have said that we don't want, Muslims shouldn't be president, and so forth. I mean, it's just atrocious. Or asking for loyalty tests of people. It's just of Arabs and Muslims. I think it's just atrocious, and it needs to be condemned. This is a country that welcomes everyone, at least it's supposed to, irregardless of your skin tone, irregardless of your religion, your national origin, who you pray to, how you pray, who you love. I mean, America is supposed to be open for everybody, and to suggest that one religious group is not going to be allowed to come in here is just unacceptable and needs to be condemned by everybody.